Ferris Khan smashed the numbers. Seriously, what is the point of USC playing Notre Dame? Ferris, I'm going to put this in the most scientific terms possible. Because it's cool. Pat Forty at Sports Illustrated released a story yesterday afternoon saying that the USC-Notre Dame rivalry is in danger of ending. They have played each other on the football field 95 times since 1924. We talked about it on the show a little bit last week. One of the reasons this rivalry started is because Notre Dame got blackballed by the Big Ten schools and was having to go various places to play. That at the time they were playing Army, which was a national power. They were playing Navy. They go west to play USC. It helps Notre Dame become a national recruiting power. It also creates this incredible rivalry with USC, one of the most beautiful uniform games in college football. It might be ending soon. So Notre Dame made it very clear in this story by Pat Forty, Notre Dame would like it to continue forever. USC has only offered a 1-year extension to the rivalry. And USC is saying it is dependent on what happens next. USC would like to see the game moved. They'd like potentially to have it at the beginning of the year. And in this case now, it's played at two different times. When it's at Notre Dame, it's in the middle of the year. When it's at USC, it's toward the end of the year. So they'd like to move it to the middle to the beginning of the year. Ari, if they cancel this rivalry, it's the softest thing ever.
It doesn't seem like an unsolvable problem here.
Well, here's the thing. Well, actually, let's let Lincoln Riley talk about it, because we have a clip of Lincoln Riley from last year's Big Ten Media Days, because he was getting asked about this a lot. And I thought what he said in this clip during Big Ten Media Days made a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, I think if the conferences stay the way they are, or excuse me, if the playoff stays the way that it is right now, then I think you'll see less and less of those, especially with us in the SEC. Just because our schedules are already going to be so good, at some point you're like, all right, is the juice worth the squeeze, right? In terms of playing these games, I think as competitors, we all want to play these games now. If and when the playoff shifts again, if you start talking about, if something were to happen, let's say guaranteed spots, even more guaranteed spots in some of these conferences, all of that, then I think it could lend itself to these games being back and more prevalent, which would be good for the game.
Okay. Interesting that he said it that way. Basically saying, if the playoff is the way the playoff is now, it will hurt great non-conference games. People will not want to continue playing great non-conference games. We've talked about this a ton on the show. This is like what Matt Rule said, where if you feel like it hurts your chances of making the playoff, you're not going to schedule it. But we think the auto bids are coming, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to. Yeah. So
by his logic, this shouldn't be an issue. They should just keep playing this thing.
Yeah, right. Now that you have your 4 auto bids, you're good to go.
So I wonder, is this USC acting as Big Ten member, dangling this out there to make sure the Big Ten gets what it wants in terms of the auto bids?
Yeah, I mean, man, this podcast is it's tinfoil
hat Tuesday, baby.
Tinfoil hat every day on this show. I mean, I guess. What do you think the likelihood of that is?
I don't know that that's it. I don't know that that's it. I think it may be USC and not necessarily Lincoln Riley, because while he probably has some input in this does happen somewhat above his head. It may be USC saying, hey, the Big Ten schedule's hard enough, and Notre Dame's getting really good, and we're scared to play them.
That's sad. Either one's sad, I'm being honest with you. Because they're both soft.
Oh, it's dumb. Play the game. But I don't think it's an accident that Notre Dame scheduled this 12-year series with Clemson.
Yeah, I wonder if they saw this coming.
So, Ferris Khan smashed the numbers. Seriously, what is the point of USC playing Notre Dame? Ferris, I'm going to put this in the most scientific terms possible. Because it's cool. The history of it is cool. The look of it is cool. The idea of it is cool. The uniforms are cool. Why do we do anything that we don't absolutely need to do to breathe, to eat, to sleep, to live? Because it's cool. Notre Dame and USC should play every year because it's cool.
And it's also like ingrained into the fabric of the sport. Like, I mean, like I'm all for screw tradition, do what makes sense, in a lot of areas, but it's also like when you think about college football, this is one of the games that pops into your head. Like, what do you mean? What's the point of them playing?
Yeah, because they can. Like, it's none of these teams need to play each other. Non-conference games don't have to happen. They don't have to happen regularly. You don't have to play the same non-conference teams every year, but it's awesome when you do.
I mean, why doesn't USC just join the Sun Belt? That'll be good.
Yeah, that'll be easier.
Why don't we just do everything easier?
Right. And it makes you appreciate schools like Georgia Tech. Like, Georgia has gotten really freaking good. So good that it's really hard for Georgia Tech to win in that series. And they keep playing it. They're not like, well, got to cancel it. You're too good. Like, South Carolina historically just gets bombed by Clemson. And Clemson's been really, really good the last 10 years.
I mean,
they keep playing
it makes you appreciate Georgia Tech. I mean, shouldn't it make you appreciate Notre Dame? They're the ones who have been doing this, and maybe, obviously out of necessity, but they've always had pretty tough schedules and have been willing to play big games. And like, I hope
David says, wouldn't Michigan Notre Dame be more important in ratings and playoff implications? Cool. Play that too. Nothing's stopping you, especially if you get the auto bids. Like, if all you got to do is finish 4th place in the Big Ten to make the playoff, or 6th place and win the play-in game, then you shouldn't be scared of any non-conference game.
Yeah. It's sad. And it's not going to matter in a year.
That's the thing. If they get the auto bids and the series still goes away, that's just wrong. Now, I will say this. If Notre Dame is pushing back on moving the date of the game, you can compromise on that. Like, if USC wants it at the beginning of the year, play it at the beginning of the year. Yeah. If it means having the series,
I'm okay with it. Like, that's the thing too. It's like, I don't get precious about timing of games either. I mean, there's a few out there, like, Rivalry Saturday's entire lineup, but
JC in the chat says Notre Dame USC was cool when they used to load up trains and mules to play. They did take trains to the early games.
That'd be a hell of a. What do you think? They're all like, crunching tape on there or what? No, they didn't have tape back then.
I don't know. I think they were, I think the coaches were swilling whiskey in the bar car. So what do we think is going to happen here? Is this a conspiracy theory? Like, is my tinfoil hat working where this is just USC kind of doing the Big Ten a favor to get the auto bids?
What is the main driving factor between the tension in your mind? Don't censor it. What do you think is the reason there's a problem?
I think USC fears that it has to play Ohio State and Michigan and Oregon in conference and Penn State in conference now. And Notre Dame's good, and it doesn't want to deal with that. It doesn't want to play a team that can beat it every year.
So hopefully they'll come to their senses and realize we're 12 months away from that not mattering.
Or this is part of that, and they're just trying to push that across the finish line, and then the auto bids get approved, and they're like, oh, okay, never mind, we're good. Keep the Notre Dame series. Like,
the auto bids are going to get approved.
It's a 15-year extension.
They're going to get approved. I feel like the auto bids are the entire reason for expansion.
That would...
Expansion is happening for auto bids.
I don't know that it happens specifically for auto bids, but you're right.
Why
especially in the Big Ten.
Not for auto bids.
Well, Kevin Warren was big on auto bids even when it was going to be 12.
Why would they expand it to 16 if auto bids weren't on the table? The whole reason for expanding it to 16 is
the 16 playoff expand. I thought you meant, I'm sorry. I got confused. I thought you meant you were saying like the Big Ten took USC and UCLA.
Oh, no. Sorry.
Sorry. My fault. Totally my fault.
Yeah.
So yes, no. The going to 16 is to get auto bids.
Yeah. They're not going to go to 16 if there's no auto bids. It's going to happen. It's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, I've made my peace with that. I don't like it. They should just take the top 16 if they're going to do that. But
it's going to happen. There's no way without it happening.
I'd rather get the better non-conference games. But you better here. Okay. Can I address the schools again? If you do the auto bid thing, you'd better schedule the good non-conference games. Do not turn around and start scheduling crap now that you've done the auto bid thing, because there's literally no incentive for you to not schedule the good games. Like nothing's going to hurt you now. So schedule the good games. Let's have some fun. Let's have more of Texas, Ohio State, more of Michigan, Oklahoma, continuation of USC, Notre Dame.
I'm over here like all upset that they're expanding the playoff to 16 and making the regular season feel less important. Can you imagine if the non-conference games didn't matter and the game sucked?
I'd be so mad. I would be it'd be the ultimate bait and switch.
Oh man.
I think there's a financial incentive that'll keep that from happening.
Yeah. You want better ratings.
Yeah, and you want people to buy tickets. Like,
yeah.
You're going to sell out when you got a good
I got to tell you, Andy, I know this feels like this is like a fear for you, but like I feel like you live in fear that we're not going to have good games in this sport.
Yeah, because I watched 20 years of the schedules get watered down.
It can't happen now with what's driving the sport and what
I hope not. But I watched it happen for 20 years. So
like expansion, all playoff expansion, everything that we're talking about right now leads back to one thing, which is television revenue.
True. And I should trust that. I should trust that these people's greed will guide them to that.
Of course.
But I don't trust these people. This actually goes back to everything we've talked about on this entire show is I don't trust these people.
I will tell you this, though. I think that the Matt Rule threats are a boogeyman that don't exist. People are always going to want to play good games.
Hold on. Where's my tinfoil hat? What if he said that to help the Big Ten get what it wants? The auto bids.
I think that everybody says it for a bunch of different reasons, and I don't think that it'll ever come true. Because here's like a non-tinfoil hat. I think when people lay their head at night down on their pillow and they shut the door and they're alone with their thoughts, they know that having a better schedule with more entertaining games is more advantageous for their team than not having them. And like everything that we've heard and everything that we've seen from the College Football Playoff Committee since its inception is that it rewards and favors teams who play harder schedules and have quality wins. And the teams that are the ones that are shaking at the end of the year are the ones that don't have great schedules. And like we can pretend like the conferences are too big or that like, we're not going to play this or we're not going to do that. And it's like, okay, keep banging your fist against the table against a boogeyman that does not exist, but you will only hurt yourself in the long run if you play bad games.